Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the captivating drama unfolding in Port Charles on Thursday, May 22, 2025, as the Nurses' Ball kicks off with dazzling performances, hidden secrets come to light, and explosive confrontations threaten to upend lives. From Lulu's relentless pursuit of the truth about Joe's origins to Anna's meticulously crafted scheme, and the simmering tensions between Jocelyn and Willow, this episode promises a roller coaster of emotions and shocking twists. Let's unpack each intriguing storyline with fresh insights, expanded details, and a closer look at the complex web of relationships and mysteries in this beloved soap opera. Nurses' Ball Extravaganza, a night of music and mystery. The Nurses' Ball returns to Port Charles with all the glitz and glamour fans have come to expect, transforming the Metro Court Hotel into a sparkling stage for heartfelt performances and unexpected drama. As the curtains rise on May 22, 2025, the residents of Port Charles showcase their talents, but beneath the dazzling costumes and upbeat melodies, secrets simmer, ready to boil over. The evening begins with a breathtaking lineup featuring fan favorites like Anna Devane, Felicia Scorpio, Tracy Quartermaine, and Lucy Coe, who have spent weeks perfecting their acts. Anna, paired with Harrison Chase, plans to steal the show with a sultry tango that has everyone buzzing. Their chemistry on the dance floor is electric, hinting at deeper connections that might surprise even their closest allies. Meanwhile, young Gio takes center stage with his violin, providing a hauntingly beautiful accompaniment to their routine, unaware of the storm brewing around his true parentage. Other highlights include Isaiah's high-energy hip-hop performance, which injects a modern flair into the evening, and a charming children's number featuring little Donna Corinthos, whose adorable antics are sure to melt hearts. Trina Robinson and Kai also grace the stage, their duet carrying an emotional undercurrent tied to their own personal struggles. But as the audience applauds, questions linger: who will open the night with a show-stopping act, and what unexpected surprises will emerge from behind the velvet curtains? Lulu's obsessive quest, unraveling Joe's past. Amid the festive atmosphere of the Nurses' Ball, Lulu Spencer is a woman on a mission, her eyes locked on Lois Chirulo as she searches for the final piece of a puzzle that could shatter lives. After months of digging into Joe's background, Lulu has unearthed startling evidence that Camilla, believed to be Joe's mother, was not pregnant at the time of his birth. This bombshell has fueled Lulu's conviction that she has unraveled a long-buried secret, though her conclusions are not entirely accurate. She's certain Lois holds the key to confirming her theory that Gio might be tied to the Quartermaine family in ways no one suspects. Under the glittering chandeliers of the Nurses' Ball, Lulu shadows Lois, scrutinizing every word and gesture for a slip that might betray the truth. However, Lulu's assumptions about Brooklyn Quartermaine are tragically misguided. She views Brooklyn as a master of deception, convinced that she's been hiding Joe's true identity in plain sight. In reality, Brooklyn remains oblivious to the possibility that Gio could be her biological son, a heartbreaking detail that adds layers of tragic irony to Lulu's crusade. Decades of lies between Brooklyn and Dante Falconeri further cloud Lulu's judgment, making her blind to the genuine ignorance at play. As the music swells and performers dazzle, will Lulu's relentless pursuit lead her to the answers she seeks, or will her missteps ignite a firestorm of unintended consequences? Anna's master plan, a game of strategy and risk. While the Nurses' Ball captivates the crowd, Anna Devane is executing a plan of her own, one that has been carefully hatched over late-night strategy sessions and heated debates. Fresh off the revelations from Wednesday's episode, Anna is determined to outmaneuver her adversaries, though the specifics of her scheme remain cloaked in mystery. Is she targeting a personal foe, or is this a larger operation tied to her storied history with the WSB? Her poised demeanor during rehearsals with Chase belies the high stakes of her mission, as every step and whispered conversation carries weight. Perhaps she's leveraging the distraction of the Nurses' Ball to gather intel or confront a shadowy figure from her past, using the event's chaos as the perfect cover. Her tango with Chase might even serve a dual purpose, both a performance and a coded message to an unseen ally. As Anna weaves through the crowd, her sharp eyes miss nothing, and her calculated moves suggest a woman who's always 3 steps ahead. What obstacles will she face as her plan unfolds, and will her carefully laid traps ensnare the right target, or backfire in spectacular fashion? ## Sibling sparks fly, Jocelyn confronts Willow. Away from the glittering ballroom, a storm brews between Jocelyn Jacks and Willow Tate, as familial loyalties and personal grievances collide in a heated exchange. Jocelyn, fiercely protective of her mother Carly Corinthos, has just learned the full extent of the turmoil surrounding Carly's impending divorce trial and custody battle. Armed with the knowledge that Willow moved the children in with Drew Kane, an action Carly views as a betrayal, Jocelyn unleashes her frustration on Willow, accusing her of poor judgment as a mother and meddling in matters that don't concern her. The tension is palpable, fueled by Jocelyn's raw emotions and the weight of her mother's revelations, including Carly's plan to file for emergency custody. Willow, caught off guard by the intensity of Jocelyn's words, struggles to defend her choices, her own pain and insecurities bubbling to the surface. Their confrontation, set against the backdrop of the nurses' ball's distant music, could mark a turning point in their relationship. Will this clash drive a permanent wedge between the siblings, or can they find common ground amidst the chaos of their fractured family? Christina's shocking revelation, secrets and consequences. Christina Corinthos Davis finds herself reeling from a staggering bombshell dropped by her mother, Alexis Davis, in a moment that could alter her path forever. Alexis reveals that she knows Christina attempted to harm Ava Jerome, only to mistakenly target Rick Lansing instead. Worse still, both Ava and Rick are aware of Christina's actions, holding a dangerous secret that could destroy her life. Stunned into silence, Christina grapples with the weight of her mother's words, her mind racing with fear, guilt, and defiance. The vibrant energy of the nurses' ball feels miles away as she processes this betrayal of trust. How could her darkest moment be so exposed? Her initial shock might give way to a flurry of questions. Will she attempt to silence Rick and Ava, or will her anger propel her into even more reckless behavior? The volatile mix of shame and fury within Christina suggests she might double down on her hostility, refusing to back away from the conflict despite the risks. As this secret festers, another question looms: how long until Molly Lansing Davis, Christina's sister and Rick's daughter, uncovers the truth, and what devastation will follow when she does? Next, we will delve into the heart-pounding drama surrounding the explosive revelation of Giovanni Gio Palmieri's true parentage, set to detonate at the nurses' ball in Port Charles. This week's episodes promise a seismic shift as the secret of Gio being the biological son of Brooklyn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri emerges from the shadows, unleashing a tidal wave of emotions and consequences. With new layers of complexity, invented details, and an in-depth exploration of the fallout for those closest to Gio, let's uncover how this life-altering bombshell reverberates through the lives of key characters, forever changing the landscape of their relationships. The Nurses' Ball, a stage for secrets and shock. The Nurses' Ball, an annual spectacle of elegance and charity at the Metro Court Hotel, becomes the unexpected backdrop for one of the most jaw-dropping revelations in recent General Hospital history on this pivotal week of May 22, 2025. Amidst the twinkling lights, flowing champagne, and captivating performances, a storm brews beneath the surface, poised to erupt with devastating force. Official spoilers from ABC hint at life-altering secrets spilling into the open, and all signs point to Joe's true parentage as the centerpiece of this drama. Picture the scene: the ballroom is alive with laughter and music, performers like Tracy Quartermain and Lucy Coe dazzle the crowd, and young talents like Gio himself might take the stage with his violin, unaware that his world is about to implode. The Nurses' Ball, typically a night of unity and celebration, transforms into a battleground of hidden truths as whispers and suspicious glances ripple through the attendees. Will this grand event be remembered for its charitable triumphs, or for the personal cataclysms it unleashes? The architects of revelation, Lulu and Cody's dangerous quest. Behind the impending explosion of Joe's secret lies a duo driven by curiosity and determination: Lulu Spencer and Cody Bell. Lulu, fueled by a relentless need for answers, has uncovered a critical piece of evidence. Camilla, believed to be Joe's mother, was never pregnant during the timeline of his birth. This discovery has led her to a flawed but fierce conviction that Brooklyn and Lois Cerullo have orchestrated a decades-long deception. Partnered with Cody, whose own ties to the Quartermain family add a personal stake to the investigation, Lulu is inches away from igniting the fuse. Their late-night strategy sessions at Kelly's Diner, poring over old records and piecing together fragmented clues, paint a picture of two amateur sleuths dangerously close to the truth. However, Lulu's assumptions about Brooklyn's complicity are misguided, casting unfair suspicion on someone who remains oblivious to the reality. As the nurse's ball unfolds, will Lulu or Cody be the ones to inadvertently or deliberately drop this bombshell in front of a stunned audience, setting off a chain reaction of heartbreak? Joe's heart-wrenching discovery, betrayal without closure. At the epicenter of this storm is Gio Palmieri himself, a young man whose life is about to be upended by a truth he never saw coming. The revelation that Camilla, the woman he knew as his mother, concealed his adoption leaves him grappling with a profound sense of betrayal. With Camilla having passed away years ago in a tragic car accident outside Port Charles, Gio is robbed of the chance to confront her, to demand answers, or to find closure. The weight of this unresolved pain hangs heavy as he navigates the glittering chaos of the nurse's ball, perhaps seeking solace in his music only to have his world shattered mid-note. His only hope for truth lies with Lois, who has silently carried this secret for over 2 decades, her smiles hiding a mountain of lies. Should Lois finally break her silence, perhaps in a tearful confession in a quiet corner of the Metro Court, she could offer Gio the missing pieces of his identity. Yet, the revelation that Dante Falconeri is his father, and Rocco his brother, adds another layer of anguish. Dante's unexplained disdain for Gio, rooted in misunderstandings over past events like Rocco's alcohol poisoning scare, stings even deeper now. Will Gio find the strength to rebuild his sense of family amidst this chaos, or will the wounds of deception cut too deep? Dante's double shock, a father in the dark. Equally blindsided by this revelation is Dante Falconeri, who faces a gut-wrenching reckoning when he learns he is Joe's biological father. Unaware that Brooklyn ever carried his child during their tumultuous teenage romance, Dante is struck by a triple blow. The secret pregnancy, 2 decades of deception by those he trusted, and the sudden existence of a son he never knew. This mirrors the traumatic moment when Sonny Corinthos discovered Dante was his son after shooting him in a cruel twist of fate only to later forge a deep bond. Dante, haunted by his own harsh judgment of Gio over recent conflicts, including unfounded suspicions tied to Sonny's legal troubles, must confront his guilt and regret. Imagine Dante standing frozen at the nurse's ball, the weight of his actions crashing over him as Olivia Falconeri, his mother, urges him to make amends. His initial shock may manifest as anger or disbelief, but history suggests a path toward reconciliation, much like his eventual closeness with Sonny. How will Dante navigate this newfound fatherhood, and can he mend the fractured start with Gio? Collateral damage, ripples across Port Charles. The shockwaves of Joe's parentage extend far beyond him and Dante, touching at least 7 key figures in Port Charles with profound consequences. Brooklyn Quartermain, unaware of her own role as Joe's mother due to a manipulated past, perhaps involving a coerced adoption arranged by Lois under pressure from family expectations, faces a shattering realization that could redefine her identity. Lois herself, the keeper of this secret, bears the burden of guilt for hiding the truth from both Brooklyn and Gio, her loyalty to family now a source of pain. Rocco Falconeri, Joe's newfound brother, might struggle with jealousy or confusion over sharing Dante's attention, his young mind reeling from the family upheaval. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthos, as Dante's father, finds echoes of his own past mistakes, offering guidance but also reliving old wounds. Olivia Falconeri, caught between her son and grandson, becomes a mediator desperate to heal rifts. Lulu and Cody, as the catalysts, risk backlash for their role in exposing such a personal secret, potentially alienating allies. Each person's life is irrevocably altered, their relationships tested by this explosive truth at the nurses' ball. How will these intricate dynamics shift in the aftermath, and who will emerge stronger or broken? Next, we will immerse ourselves in the glitz, scandal, and jaw-dropping revelations surrounding the much-anticipated Nurses' Ball 2025 in Port Charles. This year's event, set to unfold on May 22, 2025, promises to be an unforgettable spectacle of live entertainment, shocking antics, and simmering secrets, with Congressman Drew Cain at the heart of the storm. From a tarnished reputation fueled by wild rumors to unexpected twists on the red carpet, the Nurses' Ball is poised to deliver captivating drama for every resident and viewer. Join us as we explore the intricate web of deception, personal agendas, and potential comeuppances that define this iconic night, enriched with fresh details and imaginative additions to paint a vivid picture of the chaos and allure awaiting in Port Charles. Nurses' Ball 2025, a night of glamour and intrigue. The Metro Court Hotel transforms into a dazzling haven of elegance as the Nurses' Ball 2025 kicks off with all the pomp and splendor that Port Charles has come to expect. Scheduled for this week, the red carpet unfurls under a canopy of flashing cameras and eager onlookers, with residents decked out in breathtaking gowns and sharp tuxedos, ready to celebrate a night of charity and entertainment. ABC General Hospital spoilers tease that this year's event will be anything but ordinary, promising a blend of authentic performances and unscripted drama that will leave the audience breathless. Imagine the ballroom aglow with crystal chandeliers, tables adorned with lavish centerpieces, and a stage set for acts ranging from heartfelt ballads by local talents to a surprise dance number led by veterans like Lucy Coe. Yet, beneath the surface of this glittering affair lies a powder keg of secrets, with whispers of scandal already circulating through the crowd. What unforeseen events will unfold as the night progresses, and how will this iconic gathering shape the destinies of those in attendance? Drew Cain's spotlight, a reputation in ruins. At the center of the Nurses' Ball storm stands Congressman Drew Cain, whose recent escapades have turned him into Port Charles's most talked-about figure. For all the wrong reasons. Following a night of live entertainment that left the town reeling, Drew finds himself battling a damning public image. Rumors swirl that he indulged in recreational ketamine use, with salacious tabloid footage allegedly showing him taking body shots off a mysterious woman presumed to be a paid companion at a late-night after-party. This scandalous narrative, splashed across every gossip column in town, paints Drew as a reckless politician unfit for his role, casting a shadow over his carefully curated persona. As he steps onto the red carpet at the Nurses' Ball, the weight of judgmental stares and hushed conversations follows him, each flash of a camera a reminder of the reputational damage he's endured. Drew, however, isn't one to accept defeat lightly. Behind closed doors, he's piecing together fragments of that infamous night, his sharp instincts whispering of sabotage. Will the Nurses' Ball provide a stage for redemption, or will it deepen the cracks in his public facade? A web of manipulation, Portia, Nina, and Carly's gambit. The ripple effects of Drew's tarnished reputation have not gone unnoticed, with key players like Portia Robinson, Nina Reeves, and Carly Corinthos seizing the opportunity to advance their own agendas. Portia, entangled in a personal conflict with Drew over hospital funding disputes that could jeopardize her career at General Hospital, sees his downfall as a convenient way to neutralize a growing threat. She's been overheard at the hospital lounge, subtly referencing his wild behavior to sway influential board members against him, hoping to secure her position. Nina, on the other hand, had banked on the scandal driving a wedge between Drew and Willow Tate, believing a shattered relationship would open doors for her own reconciliation with Willow. Yet, her plan backfires spectacularly as Willow clings even tighter to Drew, their bond strengthened by adversity during quiet, supportive moments at the Courtemain mansion. Carly, ever the strategist, views Drew's damaged image as her ticket to gaining custody of Willow's children, confidently arguing in private family meetings that his supposed irresponsibility proves her case. Despite knowing the murky truth behind the rumors, all three women lean on this narrative as a crutch, risking catastrophic consequences if the real story emerges. How long can they wield this double-edged sword before it turns against them at the nurse's ball? Drew's suspicion. Uncovering a sinister plot. Amid the swirl of gossip and manipulation, Drew Kane refuses to accept the public's verdict as the final word on his character. Known for his meticulous and calculated nature, he finds it implausible that he would sabotage himself with such reckless abandon. As he prepares for the nurse's ball, perhaps donning a tailored suit to mask his inner turmoil, Drew's mind races with the certainty that foul play is at work. He recalls fragmented memories of that infamous night. A drink handed to him by an unfamiliar face at a crowded bar, a sudden dizziness that felt unnatural, and waking up to a scene he couldn't piece together. Convinced he was drugged as part of a deliberate setup, Drew begins to discreetly investigate, confiding in trusted allies like Jason Morgan during late-night conversations at the docks. Could a political rival, a personal enemy, or even someone closer to home be behind this smear campaign?